All right. Well, hello again. It's good to see y'all. It's a recap from the Saturday tournament at Columbus Lake for Fishers of Men. It was our first stop on our 2024 season. Did several days of pre-fishing. Did not catch a fish Thursday or Friday. But Saturday, David and I caught four. Three of them were short. They have to be 14 inches to be able to keep and to measure. And so we did not catch a limit. We only caught one, and it came off of a white spinnerbait, which didn't really surprise me. But what surprised me was just it was just a tough bite. Good night. Wind blew like crazy Saturday, and you had to find some protected areas out of the wind to be able to fish, because you just couldn't stay on the water. It was just or just couldn't stay in the wind. It was so rough. Whitecap, the lake was whitecapping, the river was rough. So anyway, the guys who caught them, I think they came out of the gravel pits, which is really no surprise. That's pretty much where a good population of fish up there always live, and it's a great place. It's a great fishery. I can't wait to go back in the spring to try a couple of places that I fished that I really wanted. I'd hoped to find fish in, but I did not find fish there. But I mean, that's just the way it goes. You don't find them everywhere you go, and certainly you don't catch them every tournament. But Rick Pullen and Kevin Brumfield won with 1260. And Jamie Allen and Jeffrey Hand came in behind them with 1185, I believe. So I got all that stuff updated on the Facebook page, Mississippi Central Division Fishers of Men. So anyway, just want to give a little quick recap of that. It was just a tough tournament. We just couldn't get on them. I think I fished where I wanted the fish to be instead of really where the fish were. Hindsight's typically always 20/20. You know, we got to live with the decisions that we make. In tournament fishing, certainly they have some consequences. You don't catch them, or you may run up on them, but ultimately kind of rise and fall based on the decisions that you make. In life, it's much the same thing. We live with the decisions that we make. Well, let me restate that. We live with the consequences of the decisions that we make. All our decisions have consequences. That's just the way that is. And life presents us with a lot of different decisions. No matter where we are or what we're doing, there are going to be decisions that we need to make or that we have to make. And the best thing to do is to know as much as you can about the situation, get the information that you need to make the best decision. Now with bass fishing, I mean, weather conditions, water conditions, sunlight, wind, whatever, cover, whatever is in the lake, is it a river system, is it a reservoir, whatever. A lot of those factors are going to play into where the fish are going to be. Is it spring? Has it been warm? Is it spring? Has it been cold? Right now it's spring and it's been a little cool, but there's a warming trend, and I figured the fish would be much more active than I found them to be, but I also didn't find them where I thought I would find them, but some guys did, and that's just the way that is. And if we're not careful, we'll make a decision, and we won't have as much information, or maybe even the best information as we should, before we make a decision. We need to make informed decisions. And look, let me tell you, the more we can understand about the Bible and God's plan, the better we're going to be able to make decisions now and in the future. We can't go back and relive the past. Some people like to relive or in the past in their minds, and they try to live those glory days. But the past is just that, it's past. So we've got now, and then we've got the future. And the best way to be prepared is to understand the times now, based on what God told us they would be in the Bible, and make wise decisions moving forward, because we're not getting better. As a country, things are not getting better. As a society, things are not getting better. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that. However, there is a strong demonic delusion that is sweeping across this country. It's a spiritual force that we're fighting, not a material force or a flesh and blood. As Paul says in Ephesians 6:12, we don't battle against flesh and blood, but against powers, against spiritual hosts, spiritual authorities in heavenly places. In other words, there's a spiritual dimension, and there is a demonic spiritual dimension that is coming against God and coming against his people, because Satan hates God and he hates his people. And so he's going to come against God and his people, and he's deluding, he's deceiving people all over the world, but certainly here in America. There are so many people who have bought into a lie, and they're now calling what we see in Isaiah chapter 5, they're calling good evil and evil good. They're making bitter sweet and sweet bitter. And so those of us who have ears to hear, we need to hear. Those of us who have eyes to see, we need to see. And the best way to do that is to open our Bibles and understand what God tells us, and seek him while we can, and not be deceived, because there are people around us that are deceived. They are so deceived. I look at the news, I hear the stories of things, and I'm thinking, how can anyone in their right mind think that whatever that is okay? Gender transition, gender confusion, the LGBTQ, the push for acceptance, diversity, equity, and inclusion, the DEI, just the phenomena that is just sweeping our country. How can anyone in their right mind think that's okay? But if they're deceived, they don't understand. They don't see with spiritual eyes. And so those of us who do and who can, we need to see and we need to understand that God told us that this was coming. As it was in the days of Noah, so will it be at the time of the coming of the Son of Man. And what was going on in Noah's day? Every imagination of the thought of the heart was evil continually. That's in the Bible. God knows what he's talking about. And Jesus says, as it was in the days of Noah, we're there now. This is the days. These are the days of Noah. God's not going to destroy the world with water again. He gave us the rainbow as a promise of that. It's not the gay pride rainbow. It's God's rainbow. They've just hijacked it. Satan has just turned it into something that it was never meant to be. He does that. That's God's rainbow. It's God's promise, and God's promises never fail. He can't do anything with God's promises. He can try to thwart us and distract us from God's promises. But God promised never to destroy the earth with water again. But he also promised that he's going to destroy this earth with a fervent heat. So it's going to be fire next time. And so we better be ready. The church better be ready. No matter how you view the end times, whether you think that the church is going to be raptured before the tribulation, during the tribulation, or raptured after the tribulation. Or you may not even believe in a rapture. You may not even believe in a tribulation. But you better be ready to meet the Lord, because that is an appointment every one of us will meet. Death has a 100% success rate. So don't take a chance on eternity. Get to know the Lord through His Word. His Word, His Spirit, and a Bible teaching church. Sit under a pastor who teaches the Bible. Current events, they're important. Can they be effective? Absolutely. But they're not the gospel. They can't save you. Just knowing information can't save you. You need to know the Lord Jesus Christ. And the Bible tells us how to know Him, how to live for Him, how to live in the Spirit. So I hope this helps you understand why we didn't do very good in the tournaments, because we didn't get on the fish and they didn't bite. We weren't in the right place. We made decisions that affected the outcome of the tournament. Some guys got on them. They made the right decisions. In life, we got to live with the consequences of our decisions. Make sure you decide to live according to the Bible. Let God change your heart. Hope this helps you. Hope this blesses you. Hope you're encouraged by these. If you are, send me a message. Hit me back on Facebook or on my YouTube channel, Pastor Keith's Faith and Fishing. I'll post these on there and on Facebook hopefully too. And so let me know what you think, and hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get the message of the gospel out, and we'll talk about some fishing along with faith. God bless.